Well, first of all, thank you so much for joining me today with our field level webinar, the 4 ways to tackle recruiting this summer using field level. Quick introduction about myself. My name is Jason French. I am obviously an employee here at field level, but before I started working for field level, I've been and still am, a longtime football coach. I've been doing this for about 12 years. Fortunate to get to work with some of the best high school football programs in the state of California. And also along with that, do a lot of private quarterback training, quarterback camps. I get to go around the West Coast and do some speaking engagements for USA Football and teaching their safety curriculum, which is always a lot of fun. So I'm in this with you guys. It's fun for me on a personal level to do these webinars with football parents and athletes. So I hope you guys get some good information out of this and that it's impactful for you guys going into your summer. I'm going to jump into our deck here. All right. So 4 ways to tackle recruiting on field level this summer. I want to talk quickly about just the broad strokes of our system, the network that you guys are part of. So we'll talk about that a little bit. I'll get to those senior year recruiting tips, which is what this webinar is, the core of it is about. I'll give some broad strokes on some other things that we want to talk about with our users, just to give you guys some quick info. And then we've got the question and answer portion. So if there's something that I didn't answer and you guys have a question, feel free to write that into the question and answer area, the chat area, whatever the case may be, whatever those boxes you can find, and I'll make sure to answer them. If I'm unable to answer it, I'll go ahead and find a way to get in contact with you individually so you make sure you get that answer or that question answered. So what is field level? Field level is the athletic network where coaches and athletes connect, discover, create, and pursue opportunities at the next level. As I said before, and I'm going to keep touching on this a bunch, is as a football coach myself, I remember when I was at a new school and I just had a bunch of kids that were not Division I football players, but Division II, Division III, NAIA level players. And I wanted to help them. So I was slaving away. I was building out spreadsheets. I was researching schools online. I was putting together all these lists and phone numbers and emails and coaches' names and sending out, personalized emails and video, and, putting CDs in the mail and calling coaches. And it was a nightmare. It was so hard. My heart was there. I really wanted to help my athletes find an opportunity at the next level, but trying to find a way to do it in a easy and time-efficient way was very difficult. And so then I remember meeting one of our founders and our CEO at a wedding, and we just randomly started talking about what we do for work, and it just so happens that he was a founder of a company that was exactly solving a pain point that I had on my day-to-day basis with my football program, and that is me trying to help my athletes play college football. And so I learned about field level and love the aspect of that. It keeps the high school coach at the very center of the entire process, where so many other companies and sites and services are trying to take the coach out of it. The coach is the most important person in this process, and college coaches want to hear from high school coaches about athletes. And so having that tool, having that network was so impactful for me right away as a user that I ended up getting a position here, and I'm so excited that I get to share this information with you guys. I get to share this with my other friends, other athletes that I coach, and so it's great, and I hope that you guys get a lot out of this. A little bit about field level, how many sports we serve. We serve 11 sports. You can see that on the left-hand side here, and then our network has tons of numbers: 61,000 plus teams, 90,000 plus coaches, 58,000 plus commitments, and these numbers. These are low. These are numbers that have not been updated in probably a couple months. And so, trust me, we're literally gaining coaches and athletes every single day. It's an impressive thing to watch all of our sport networks grow and helping coaches help athletes. It's been an honor to be a part of. So, how does field level work? We've got a couple user bases that I'm going to just, again, real broad strokes on who they are, what they do on our system. First is our college coaches. They sign up. They add their staff. Good thing to know about adding staff is that colleges, for the most part, especially in football, have 2 core ways that they distribute responsibility when it comes to recruiting. And it's one, coaches will have a geographic location that they're in charge of, or two, they are a position coach and they are in charge of recruiting for that one position. So, so coaches at the college level sign up, they add the head coach can be added on there, all the assistants can be on there. So there's a lot of coaches on there from various staffs. They connect with high school coaches or nationwide. And again, we'll show some cool things about where a lot of the colleges are in our country. But coaches nationwide connect using our network. They search for athletes. So college coaches can search for athletes using our search filter. They can post specific recruiting needs. One of our newer features on Field Level, which I love as a high school coach, because I'm now able to read specific things and positions that college programs are looking for right now, that if I have that need, or if I have that athlete that meets their need, I can promote that to them immediately. So that's a great tool that we just released. And then also coaches at the college level will get promotions sent to them from high school coaches, and basically the high school coach is saying, I've got an athlete that I think would be a great fit for you. Here's why, please take a look. Then we have high school and club coaches in our system. Again, we have 11 sports. Many of those sports have a club aspect to it as well, not so much on the football side. But the high school football coaches are going to sign up. They're going to add their staff. So we'll talk a little bit more in depth about that later. But head coach, assistant coach, coordinators, they can all be on Field Level. They connect with college coaches nationwide. So they're building their own coaches network individually as well as it being a part of their program. They add and they certify athletes. I'm assuming most of the athletes are on Field Level already, or you parents that are on here representing that account. You're already on Field Level. You're already on a roster. We'll talk about that more. But the coaches will certify them, meaning they will write an honest evaluation about that athlete and project to what level of play they think they can play at. That's a private evaluation that only the high school coach and their staff can see, and college coaches can see as well. They next have to collaborate with their athletes and the parents like yourself. We'll talk about that in depth in a minute here. Then they get to use our platform for communication. They can use our messaging feature to communicate with college coaches, to communicate with their athletes, and also you as parents if you're signing into the athlete's account. So we have a messaging feature on our platform too. And then lastly, you guys, the athletes, the parents, we know this is kind of a combined effort. The athletes are on here a lot. Parents are on here a lot, driving the train, keeping things organized. I'll praise you guys some more later. But you guys sign up. I'm assuming you guys already have. You guys connect with your coach references. I'll unpack that more later. You build your profile. You'll build your target school list. Big part of today's webinar. We'll talk about that. Track college activity, and you're able to use our site to communicate with your high school coach, and then also the college coaches that are in touch with you regarding the recruiting process. For some reason, the computer is a little slow today on these deck transitions here. There we go. So now we're going to jump into our recruiting tips. So why you guys came here today. First things first is athletes, parents, get on the same page with your coach. So important. And one of the things, we'll go through a list of things that you can go into that meeting to be prepared with. But one is come prepared with a list of schools you're currently interested in going to. Whether those are dream schools, whether those are mid-range schools, whether those are schools at all the various levels, make sure that you guys have a list of schools prepared when you go into that conversation with the coach. Some things that kind of open your eyes and broaden your horizons when it comes to colleges. This is a screen grab of a map, and I can only get it this big. I couldn't zoom in on each state. But this is a map from the NCAA website where this shows Division I, again, only NCAA, Division I, Division II, and Division III schools in our country. And as you can see, there are dots scattered all over the nation. And myself, like I told you before, I'm a high school football coach. I'm an ex-college football player, and I've been working for Field Level, which deals with colleges every day. And out of all the years, I've probably been involved with learning about colleges and football programs and these kinds of things for roughly 20 years. And in 20 years, I'm still finding out and learning about new schools and new programs that have football, that have a football team. So this is a quick, broad view of just all over the country. There's schools and options. Again, there's some areas that are that are bunched together with a lot of dots. And if we were to zoom in on that, like the Southern California area, some places on the East Coast, you'd see that would really expand into all these different schools that are available and that have athletic departments. So really cool visual here to see how many options there are out there. This next one here is a quick video from the NAIA website. And this is an interactive video that I scrolled through real fast. And you can see there are schools just popping up in every single state. And it's really impressive to see how many options there truly are for your sons to play college football. So just another quick idea and to keep your mind going, that there's not just the options that you may have heard of or seen on TV or in your local area, but just options nationwide. Right here, what we're going to do today is when it comes to showing our actual inside of our network, I'm going to show you pictures from what it looks like on the desktop and then also what it looks like in our app. So right now we are in our college search portion. And again, this is all kind of tying back to when you go and meet with your coach to get on the same page about recruiting, is having a list of schools and an idea of the places, the types of places and the kinds of programs you want to go to. So on the desktop version here, you can see on the left-hand side, there are options that you can turn into drop-down menus to select different attributes that you're looking for in a school: level of play, state, school size, tuition, and there's other options there. When you select those options, it will provide the filtered results on those options, and that's going to give you, the parent, you, the athlete that are watching today, options and ideas of schools that you may have never even thought of, maybe you've never even heard of before. And you can then go ahead and look into those schools, research those schools, and see if they'd be a good fit. And you could put that on your list of schools that you're interested in. And not only can you write that down in your own private list, maybe put that down in your head, but I'll show you guys our target school list in a minute here. On the right-hand side is our app. Instead of having it on the left-hand side nav for the information for filtering, there's a little filter button there with a little sliding bar icon. You're able to click that button and you're able to get the same exact functionality from what you get from the desktop on our app. So for those of you who don't have our app yet, I encourage you to go and sign up and or go and get that uploaded to your phone. Next is this target school list. And so you've now seen these two maps of NCAA, the NAIA. I haven't even discussed junior college options, and those are all over the country as well. So you've accumulated these ideas, these schools that you want to target, schools that you're interested in, and you can go ahead and plug that into your target school list. And so we recommend at field level that you should have roughly at least 20 target school lists. One cool thing about target school lists, there's many cool things about it, but one neat thing to think about when putting together your target school list is the fact that college coaches on field level can see if you are targeting their school. So they can filter through that. So they can see which athletes are targeting them, and they can go looking into those athletes right away. Now, the college coach cannot see what rank they are. So if you've got a college that's ranked number 20 out of 1 through 20 on your list, all they get to see is that they're being targeted, not that they're the 20th school in your target school list. So just good tidbit there. Building out your target school list is really impactful for you and for your parents, for you parents and your athletes, for coaches that are going in and being able to see these things, just to all stay on the same page. And what our target school list allows you to do is it allows you to move the rankings. We all change our mind. We have different opinions. We have different things come to mind when we think about a different school. Maybe we see something, read something, research something that changes our mind on the rankings. You're able to slide those around and change those around to your liking. And also underneath those schools, you can see a little slide bar and little dots and the options are target, contact, offer, and commit. So now you parents, you athletes, coaches that are going on to and mirroring their athletes' account and being able to see their athletes' target school list, they can be updated as well by just looking at that if it's a school that's a target for the athlete, if that program is now in contact with the athlete, if they've offered, and ultimately if they've committed, the ultimate goal. So again, target school list, very helpful tool for everybody involved in the recruiting process. So back to this meeting with you and your coaches. So we've talked about preparing a list of schools you're currently interested in going to. Now, beyond that, be able to verbalize what you're looking for in a program and school to your coach. So again, maybe you didn't see a school. Maybe you didn't use our college search tool, which we encourage you to do. Maybe you didn't take the time to go ahead and research colleges nationwide on the computer or through word of mouth, whatever the case may be, about possible options for you to play at the next level. But if you're able to verbalize what kind of school you're looking for, your coach can then take that in and know what to be looking for you, or your parents, or you parents know what your athlete is looking for, or the athlete can know the confines of which, maybe you parents are allowing them to go. Maybe you parents only want your athletes, your sons, to be within a radius of states that touch your current state. Whatever the case may be, make sure that you guys are all able to verbalize what you're looking for in a school, whether it's size of school, geographic location. I think a big thing that, especially as a football coach, speaking to my football athletes is, does their skill set and the way they play their position match up schematically with the college programs they're aiming to be a part of? I think that's a big thing to make sure you think and talk through in a meeting like this with your coach. And then what are your academics, standards that you're looking for? Are you looking to go to a high-level academic school, a school that's not as difficult to get into? What are your grades looking at? What are your test scores looking like? Can your grades, can your test scores, can your transcript translate into getting into a school? Very important. You don't want to have a dream school. If you have a 3.2 GPA and your dream school is a school that isn't admitting anybody under a 3.8, maybe you got to make sure that your guys are all in the same line and that you're attacking schools. You have schools in your target school list that are viable options for you. So these are all things you want to think about. We don't want to kill any opportunities or joy or dreams, but making sure that you're working with your coach, parents are working with their athletes and parents working with the coach to make sure that that you're scholastically able to get into the universities that you're looking into. So next up, hopefully that was clear for you guys in that coach meeting. So next is making sure that you're on your coach's roster, and then making sure that you have the right references attached to you and attached to that staff. So make sure you're on the coach's field level roster. I'm assuming you guys all got this email and invited to this through our email list of users. So it's pretty clear that you guys are most likely on a roster, which is great. But the next thing you should make sure is your best reference, is your best resource on field level and the one writing out your evaluations? Are they working for you in the promotion side of it? Making sure that your best reference is on field level is highly impactful. So sure, your head coach might be on it. They have the account. But let's say you're a linebacker and your head coach is also the offensive line coach. Well, your linebacker coach is probably a really good reference point for you. Is that linebacker coach, is that assistant coach, is that defensive coordinator, is the offensive coordinator, whoever you may have a strong connection with, whoever you think may understand you as an athlete best and be able to be the best source of a recommendation for you, are they on field level? And if they aren't, it'd be a great time to invite them on, tell them what field level is, and ask them for your help. Because again, college coaches want to hear from high school coaches more than anybody else when it comes to the recruiting process. They're going to listen to those high school coaches more than they're going to listen to anybody else when it comes to, if an athlete's going to be a good fit for them. So make sure that you have your most trusted resources, the most involved coaches in your athletic life on field level and able to write that evaluation for you. Now, if you go on, you're just your head coach and your position coach, your coordinator isn't on field level yet, and you want them on, and you can either verbally tell them and they can sign up, or they can go, or you can invite them yourself. So within the site, in the area where you would be adding your team, and you can go in and you can also add coaches or invite coaches. And here's a picture from our desktop. Here's a picture from our app. All you need to do is put their first and last name in, and then their email address, and send the invite. You can also preview it if you'd like to, but again, we'll send that invite to them. If there's any questions or concerns, feel free to tell that coach to reach out to us, or you guys feel free to reach out to us yourselves with a coach's email address or phone number and say, hey, I really want my linebackers coach or my offensive line coach to be on field level, but he's really not sure, he doesn't know what it is, and I didn't have a great understanding of how to articulate it. Can you call him? Absolutely. We'd love to call him. I'll personally call him. So you can go ahead and have that option in your back pocket as well. Next is building a complete profile. Your profile is your one-stop shop for a college coach to get all the pertinent information that there is about you and to see if you'd be a great athlete and a great fit for their program. So making sure your athlete is completely filled out, very important. And we're going to dig into that in a minute here. Every area of information that we put on your profile is important. There's a purpose and a reason for it. So again, let's make sure that everything is filled out. So here is our profile page here. So again, desktop and app. If you notice real quickly on the app side that the word profile is underlined there, that means that this is and where it is profile on the app, it is the left-hand side navigation area on the desktop version. And we'll go through step by step here. So first, let's make sure that you have a profile picture on. So many times coaches, even coaches, when I go to try and connect with a coach on field level and they don't have a headshot in there, it makes me wonder if they're using it or if they're actually detail oriented enough to put that there. College coaches are thinking the same thing. They research an athlete, they put in, using our search filter, various things that spit out a result, and your son is on that results page, but there's not a picture there. Well, they might not go look at that because it doesn't look like that the athlete took the time to fully fill out that profile. So make sure that your profile pictures are on there, whether it's an action shot, whether it's a headshot, whatever it is, make sure that you guys have a picture on there. Next up is your age, your hometown, and your height and weight. So put that in there, always very important information. We talked about the teams. Football players, for the most part, you guys are usually just part of one team. You may be a part of a training facility or some kind of athletic training company or something like that that's on field level. If you're part of that as well, you can go ahead and add that team to that. So you can be added to multiple coaches up that way. Next is your on-field information. What offensive position are you? What defensive position are you? And what's your dominant hand? Right hand, left hand? Let us know. Next thing that you can see on the navigation side on the desktop, contact. We need your email. We need your phone number. That is private information, by the way, the athlete's information. That is only visible by the athlete, the parent, and the coach, the high school coach themselves. College coaches cannot go see that. The only way that a college coach can see that information is if the high school coach releases that contact info to the college coach and then allows them to contact the athlete. Again, our high school coaches are the centerpiece of this. They're the gatekeeper. They're the focal point of this recruiting process. So they get to be the one that allows that to happen. Next up is going to be academics. So obviously, very big. You guys want to go to college. You want your athletes to go to college, your sons to go to college. Academics is going to play a huge role in that, especially depending on which level of play they want to play at. For instance, a lot of Division III schools have some high academic standards. So having grades, whether it's Division I, II, III, NAIA, JUCO, whatever it is, they need to see what those grades are, what those SAT, ACT scores are, and then also to have that transcript in there to make sure that the athlete has completed all the core courses that is necessary to get into various institutions. That's really important for the college coaches to see. Also for those coaches that are using the search filter looking for athletes, sometimes they'll put in the grade point average that they need or an SAT score that they need in order to be surfaced to them in the results. And if the athlete doesn't put that information in the academics, they won't show up. So making sure that's fully filled out is really important. Also, you guys are all, we geared this towards rising seniors, so 2020 grad class kids. So most of you should have your SATs, ACTs done. You're going to have a pretty filled out academic transcript. Have that on there, your GPA. Again, the more information, the better for all parties. So get that on there. Make sure that's up. And you can always go to your front office. The registrar at your office will be able to most likely get you that PDF of your academic transcripts. Next up is honors and achievements. Now, This profile page, for all intents and purposes, is a place for you to brag. This is where you really put yourself out there. You really show how great you are. So go ahead and throw down some honors, some achievements, whether they're athletic, academic, maybe things you've done in your local neighborhood, or in your local area. Go ahead and throw that in there because it's important for coaches to see those kinds of things. Not only are coaches just recruiting great athletes, but they want to recruit great young men. And so they care about what kinds of people are coming into their program. So getting to see some honors and achievements helps that. And another thing that helps that is the hobbies and interest area. No joke, and not because it's here and fishing and hunting are in this demo picture here. But last week we were talking to a high school coach, and he was telling us a story about how the athlete put in fishing and hunting in his hobbies, and a college coaching staff was searching, found this athlete, looked at the profile, saw that the athlete had hunting and fishing as their hobbies, knew that the coaching staff, a lot of the guys on the coaching staff were guys that are really into hunting and fishing, and they knew that this young person would be a good fit with them just based on the hobbies and interests. So they developed a relationship. They started talking to each other. An offer was given, a commitment was had, and now they've matched with each other. And this athlete now gets to go on to a great university. All, I would say all because, but a portion of the reason is because they took the time to fill this out to completion, and a college coaching staff saw that, realized that'd be a good fit for them based on hobbies and interests, and now they're with each other. So really cool area there to just, again, show a little bit more about the athlete than just the athletic and academic side. And then lastly here is parents and guardians. That's you guys. Most of you on here are parents. You guys are so important to this whole process, and we know it. I also know, not as a parent, I'm not a parent yet, but I am a football coach for a long time and have dealt with thousands of teenagers, and they all think that they know it all. And you guys all are sitting there, you parents, all nodding your head, probably rolling your eyes like, yeah, my son always thinks he knows it all. And we know that, but we also know that the parents are a huge part of driving this recruiting train. You guys are the ones that are helping them respond back to people appropriately. You're the ones that are on them making sure that they're organized. You're on here making sure that their profile is complete. You're making sure that you're asking questions, whether if your teenage boy, acts frustrated with you or not, it doesn't matter. We know that your heart's in the right place. You just want to help. And so having your information on field level is very important for us at field level, so we can stay in contact with you, giving you guys information, giving you guys information about webinars, whatever the case may be. We know that you're important, and we want to make sure that we're able to be in communication with you. So thank you for joining, obviously, those that you parents that are there today, but know that we need that information. That is very useful. So next up, I'm going to talk about here, and it's going to be very, very clear. Add film, add video, add film, add video. I did this big, I did this obnoxious, I did it loud. And whether you call it film, whether you call it video, whatever the case may be, you gotta add it. College coaches, I don't care who they are or what sport, they will not recruit an athlete unless they get to watch them. Even the highest level 5-star nationwide Division I college recruits are seen via film, via video, by their coaches that are recruiting them. They're also being seen in person. But no matter who you are, you've got to be seen on film. So you have to add film to field level, and here's how. Desktop app, as you can see here on the desktop version, in the top middle, there's an area there that says add a video or a link. And then on the app version there, notice that before we had profile underlined, we were filling out our profile. Right now we've got timeline underlined, okay? But the same area, add a video or a link. You would go ahead and take your huddle link, and you would copy the link to the page here in that gray box. And what it will do, it'll provide a video. It will then populate a video on your profile, as you can see here. So again, add the links in here where it says paste a YouTube, huddle, or website link here. Both areas there, each one, whatever one you want to do, you get full functionality from app and desktop, just different looks and just a shrunken down version. And it makes this. You got your film here on your profile, both you can see that on the app and on the desktop. And now coaches at the college level are able to go to your profile and they're able to see all the information that they need to know about you, along with the player certification, evaluation from your coach and projection and film. So it's, like I said in the beginning, one-stop shop for your athletes to be seen, get all the information learned about, and be able to be seen via video. Okay, so make sure that you add video, add video, add video, add video. Hope you guys got that. Lastly here is just some advice from coach to parent, coach to athletes, coach against you parents that can then trickle down to the athletes. And that is getting prepared for the college grind. Like I said earlier, I'm a former college athlete. I work with a bunch of former college athletes here at field level. Plenty of friends played college sports, men's sports, women's sports, various divisions, and I have not met one person that has regretted their time playing college athletics. It is an honor to be a part of a program. It is a great time getting to become friends with kids from all over the country. You make friends for life, connections for life. I played at a small school in Pennsylvania, and I've got friends to this day that live out there that I go and visit, to this day that I talk to on the phone, that I'm involved in their lives and their family. And it's a true honor to be a part of playing at the college level. So with that said, it is a grind. And so I got here, prepare for the college grind, because it is a grind. It's almost like having a full-time job playing college athletics. So some things to get in your mind this summer if you plan on playing at the next level. First, spend some extra time in the weight room. Make sure you guys are doing the things and the lifts that you're going to be doing in college. So you know what they don't do a lot in college? Bicep curls. They don't do tricep pushdowns. Those are all beach muscles that college football programs don't really harp on or spend a lot of time on. So making sure that you're doing the various lifts that you'll use in college is really important. With that said, I do not recommend that you just go or your son just goes and tries it. Make sure that a certified, qualified professional that knows what they're doing when it comes to weightlifting is teaching them these things, and they're not just going in there and getting themselves hurt. But learning that stuff now will give them a leg up on the other freshmen that they enter in to college with. Next, spend some time watching film with your coach. As a football player, there's no sport that watches more film than football. I watch probably on average an hour of film a night during football season, and that's just during, and as an average, between our spring practice, our summer practice, fall season, we are watching film continuously, and we are also having our kids watch film, our athletes watch film. So for you athletes out there, for you parents that are going to be encouraging your athlete along the way, have them go spend some time with their coach watching film, and ask that coach two things. One, what is that coach watching when he's evaluating his own current team, when watching practice film? And then how does that coach watch film and evaluate upcoming opponents? So now your athletes can watch film with the coach and see it through a coach's eyes and see what they're looking for to improve upon themselves as a football player and just have a better mental awareness and better mental understanding of the game that they're playing. So very helpful. Lots of film will be watched in college. And then lastly here, or not lastly, but second to last is spend extra time doing the little things that go along with your position group. Whether it's on-field work, whether it's whether you're a receiver, you're going to catch more balls, whether you're a linebacker, you need to do some more, using pads for tackle perfection, learning how to have great tackle technique, whatever the case may be. Make sure that you are working for your specific position, and so you can be ready to go to the next level where they focus very much on those types of things. And then lastly, and maybe the most soapbox type of thing I'll talk about tonight for some of you, this afternoon for others, is making sure that you are telling your coach that you want to be pushed like you're going to be pushed in college. Many coaches out there at the high school level are constantly afraid to coach the way that they want to because of various pressures from parents or administration, whatever the case may be. But if your son wants to play at the college level, college coaches do tend to coach with a more aggressive style. So make sure that that coach is aggressively working with your sons on the field, pushing them in ways that they may have not been pushed for before, and getting them ready mentally, physically, emotionally for the grind of playing at the college level, because it is difficult, but it is a great time, and there is some an adjustment period with how you're coached at the college level. So start asking your high school coach to start pushing you now to get you ready. So those are my things when it comes to getting ready for the grind. Lastly, two quick subjects here that I'm going to do broad strokes with. One is how are athletes seen? It's always a question we get asked, and it's a great question. First, athletes are promoted to college coaches by their high school coach. So if you haven't gotten it by now, if there's any two things you take away from today, college coach is at the center of this process. The high school coach is at the center of this process. They're the most impactful person. They're the gatekeeper. And then make sure you add video. But back to the how athletes are seen. They're going to be promoted by their high school coach to college coaches around the country. So that's way one, that they get visibility and get recognition on field level. Option two is college coaches can use our search filter to plug in those different search criteria, and then we give the college coach results on the athletes that meet that, and they're able to then go look for those athletes. If they see an athlete they like, they contact the coach and start the ball rolling there. And then lastly is our premium plan. Everything I've talked about today so far is free. What's amazing about field level, and I don't say that just as an employee, but I say this as a user before and current, is there's so much functionality that comes with field level all for free. And but there are some things, because we do have to pay the bills. There are some things that we have kind of locked behind a paywall, so to say. And so we do have field level premium. And the four things that come with field level premium is one, being able to get recommendations. So we have an area in our website where you're able to go in and get recommendations from field level based on our proprietary algorithm that gives out great recommendations to the parents, to the athletes, and also the coaches as more options for you to be looking into to put on your target school list, or just think about when it comes to planning on places you'd like to attack for college. Two, giving your coach the opportunity to promote you to any coach in the network. Right now, using the free platform, athletes that are on free are only able to be promoted to the coaches that are in their high school coaches network. So let's say I've got 200 coaches in my network, and I'm only able to promote my athlete to those 200 coaches, but there's 10,000 coaches in the football network. So if my athlete pays for premium, that now opens the door for me as a coach, where I can promote my athlete to not only the 200 in my immediate network, but now the 10,000 coaches in the network overall, and ultimately more ability to promote, more coaches see the athlete, more coaches seeing the athlete, more opportunity for them to then follow the athlete, start recruiting the athlete, offer the athlete, and so on. So big benefit there. Next is our letter of interest. High school kids are able to now use our letter of interest feature, where they're able to write 2 questions, very important ones, although they may sound simple, but they're able to answer the question of, why do I want to play for this program, and why do I want to live in this location geographically? So now a high school coach is able to promote the athlete and then package that with a letter of interest from the athlete themselves, and a college coach sees this and they can now read why they're a good fit based on the coach's recommendation and why the athlete wants to be there. And that really helps that college coach know that they're not going to be wasting their time recruiting the athlete, that they're going to be recruiting an athlete that truly took the time to write this out, think this out, and they're going to go ahead and have a more easier experience with connecting with that athlete and know that they want to be a part of the program. And then lastly is our ability to see detailed activity. Right now, I'm assuming most of your athletes, for those of you who are athletes or parents of athletes, there is some profile activity on your account right now. But using free, you're only able to see that there's generic information there. A Division II in Wisconsin has looked at your profile. A Division III in New Jersey has watched your highlight film. But I'm assuming, as you're sitting here and listening to me say this, we're all thinking the same thing. Well, who the heck is looking? Great, there's a Division III school in New Jersey. But as we showed you earlier, there's a map filled with thousands of schools around our country. Which school is it in New Jersey that's looking? Well, with Premium, you're able to see exactly which school is looking and what they're looking at. So, for instance, you look at your activity, and you can see a certain school has searched you and looked at your account multiple times in a week. You and your coach can see that, and you guys can then go, because I have Premium, I can see that this specific school's looked this many times this week. It's probably a good time for that coach to be proactive and contact that college coach and see what they can do to get you guys connected and to get the ball rolling when it comes to recruiting. So very impactful 4 things that happen with Field Level Premium. Again, today's not the premium webinar, but I did want to give you guys some of that quick information. That concludes my time. This is my contact information, and my name is Jason French, Director of Community Development here. Basically what that means is I just get to be around you guys, talk to you guys, and help you guys understand our platform to really help to maximize the experience for you guys. My email is there. My cell phone is there. You can call or text that anytime. If I don't get back to you that night via text or phone, I'll get back to you the next day. We also have some social media platforms we'd love for you to follow us on, Field Level, and it's same with Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. At Field Level, find us, follow us, and get updated on different things happening with our company. And then that's me over there with my quarterback from last year. Championship quarterback right there. Had a good year last year and hoping to get another ring this year. So I'm all done.